Hey, what you reading, Poindexter?
A book on the history of IndieCade. Can you believe it's been 18 incredible years of celebrating the best and bravest of independent games and other interactive designed experiences? Check out these old photos. I can hardly remember these people.
Well, that's me.
Oh.
Hey, what are you Poindexters yapping on about?
Remember the first IndieCade?
The first IndieCade.
The award for innovation in interaction design goes to Hoop and Stick.
I've played countless minutes, and I have the calluses to prove it.
Stop the presses! The Titanic just sank. I read about it on my Motorola Razr.
Yeah, I remember it. You were there, and you were there. But you couldn't have been, could you?
Elyse, you're bleeding.
Yeah, seems like you ozzed out pretty hard there, Dorothy.
Oh, calm down. I'm fine. Anyway, can we go to Six Flags now?
No, Elyse, we're hosting the IndieCade Awards.
The what?
From the Easy Allies studio in sunny Los Angeles, California, it's the IndieCade Awards.
Welcome! I'm Sarah Elmaleh, joined by my friends and co-hosts Isla Hinck.
Hi!
And Elyse Willems.
Hello.
What a fantastic year of indie games, am I right, friends?
Being an indie game is so cool, even the bigger games want to be indie games.
Indies are the sandbox where creativity meets ingenuity.
Where talent meets resourcefulness.
Where castles rise and fall like empires.
It's true. With indies, the only constant is invention. Whether it's novel control schemes or fresh approaches to storytelling, our show, as always, celebrates games from all different genres and perspectives. And formats, for that matter. We've got video games, board games, immersive theater, and more. The niftiest mechanics, the toughest truths, and the sweetest vibes all in one fearless and hard-won lineup just for you.
Yes, and some of these games you may have heard of, some you haven't, but don't touch that dial.
Dial?
Bet. 6-7 that dial. No cap.
Good save, Unc.
All right, the point is, we guarantee as you watch this show, you'll discover a ton of great new games of all kinds.
No matter who wins, all of these games are worth your time to check out, so make sure you head to IndieCade's Steam event page.
Now, without further ado, I think we should get to the show.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Our first award is given to award...
Don't love that.
Our first award is awarded to award a game with especially visually pleasing visuals.
Nice save.
And as such, I thought we'd do something a little different this year. We will visually pantomime the introduction to this award.
Yes. Sarah and I worked long and hard on this stunning routine, which we will now act out for you.
But don't worry. We don't want to leave out the visually impaired. So Isla will narrate what we're doing.
What? Nobody told me about this.
Oh, you'll do great. You're the best charades player I know.
I'm not.
Oh, you are. Okay, she's being
no,
modest.
please,
All right.
this
okay.
one. All right, let's go.
do it. Okay.
All right, there's a large bird, grand, sweeping, beautiful, like a water buffalo giving birth to new worlds, maybe? Stunning visuals, vistas. What is that, a machine gun? Emotional, yes, visuals, emotions, a baby carriage, and it's a great honor, laurels, flowers, honor. Yeah, without more of this, let's check out the nominees for visual design.
You hardly got any of mine. You were nailing Sarah's.
The nominees for visual design are Coup, Level Devil, Mini Mini Golf Golf, Seasonala Cemetery, and The Cabin Factory.
Hello, we're Other Tales, and we made the art house narrative game Miniatures, which won last year's Visual Design Award. And we're happy to present this year's Visual Design Award. As games grow across boundaries, platforms, and formats, the craft of animation and art are harnessed in an ever-growing number of ways. The delicate work of creating a living, breathing world through design of environments, the movement of characters, colors of the sky, the shape of the text and icons, and more, has become a defining field for games and play. The Visual Design Award celebrates accomplishments and innovations by these masterful artists. And the winner for the Visual Design Award goes to Mini Mini Golf Golf by 3 More Years.
From the jury, Mini Mini Golf Golf is an incredible, bizarre, fascinating thing to play, communicating story through its interfaces, UI, and the erstwhile unassuming activity of golf. The game invites you to get lost in a strange, fictional computerscape in endlessly intriguing ways. We don't think we've ever played anything like this before, and we certainly never thought of golf as a vehicle for dystopian fiction. But here is a game that makes it seem like an obvious choice. It's a beautiful achievement within a consistent and powerful visual world. And we are pleased to give Mini Mini Golf Golf this year's Visual Design Award.
Congratulations, Mini Mini Golf Golf.
Hey, Isla, when did you get your start in the games industry anyway?
It's been a while, like 15 years. Things are so different then. What about you?
I don't know, maybe like 13 years ago at this point. These were crazy days. Sarah, how long have you worked in games?
Let me count. 2,000 years.
What?
Yeah. Now, it was a wild time. I mean, when I came up with chess, people couldn't get enough of it. Everyone started cosplaying as bishops and horses.
Sarah, you don't have to lie about your history. They already chose the Vanguard recipient.
What do you mean?
It's the award that recognizes indie developers who contributed to the craft long before indie was even a label because of legitimate innovation, not your brazen mendacities.
People have been saying that, brazen mendacities. And now, let's pass the reins to Amir Rao, studio head at Supergiant Games, last year's Vanguard winner.
Hello, I'm Amir. I'm studio director of Supergiant Games. We've been an independent studio for 16 years now. We worked on games like Bastion, Transistor, Pyre, and Hades 2. I had the pleasure last year of receiving this award from Aminata Design, the inaugural award winner in an amazing video game studio. And this year, I am very excited to give it to a developer who has been working for over 10 years with the goal of making people laugh. Their games like What the Golf and What the Car and What the Clash are super delightful. As a game developer, I can't imagine how hard it is to iterate on something that's supposed to be funny. It has to be one of the hardest tasks I can imagine. But comedy is probably one of the greatest accessibility features you can have in a game. I know fans of their games who are as young as like 4 years old because they are in my family. So it is my great honor and pleasure to give the Vanguard Award to Triband Games.
Thank you. This is an amazing award. I always like the IndieCade Awards. They always like, it seems like homemade, and as a golfer and everything, it's perfect. It's perfect. No, thank you so much. Really honored to be here on behalf of Triband. I'm Peter Brun, and I'm the co-founder of Triband. I would like to thank my other co-founder, Tim Garbers, and of course the rest of the team, where we used to be like a very small indie studio, but now we are almost like 60 people, so that's crazy. And we've been coming to IndieCade for a long, long time. It's been crazy. And I would just love to like say thank you to all indicators and Stephanie and Sam and Celine and everyone who's helped us like find our voice. We tried to, I think like the indie game community and IndieCade has been a really big part of like finding our voice and testing it and like getting feedback and actually believing in that it was possible to do. So that is super nice. And it's just nice to be here and also seeing like new voices and see what that will be. Yeah, I think that is the kind of playfulness that the world needs right now. I think that's super important. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Congratulations, Triband.
You know, a lot has changed in a half century of gaming. Today, there are more ways to play than just sitting on a couch with a crusty Xbox controller, chugging a bottle of Mountain Dew while housing a bag of Doritos.
Absolutely, Isla. Why, one might sit on a couch with a crusty PlayStation controller, chugging a can of Mountain Dew Baja Midnight while housing a bag of Funyuns.
What? No.
Yes, Isla, there are countless ways to do the do.
Yes.
Well,
Thank you.
True,
Right.
but not the point. The frontier and the future of gaming has come to encompass so many different styles and mediums beyond the standard controller stuff.
Ah, yes, like the amazing worlds of immersive theater and themed experiences, virtual and augmented reality spaces, and escape rooms.
Not to mention the exploration of bespoke physical experiences designed with big groups of folks in mind.
The Live Action Spotlight Award celebrates experiences innovating in these spaces and creating magical new ways for play.
Let's see the nominees.
And get a snack.
The nominees for live action are Ghosts in the Machine, The Old Zoo, Goodnight Universe, Lab Rats, Rockin' Derby, and The Sentient Severed Arm.
Hi, we are part of the team that developed Coma Corp. The oncoming frontier of play and experience design includes the amazing worlds of immersive theater, theme experiences, virtual and augmented reality spaces, escape rooms, and more exploration of bespoke physical experiences often designed for groups of people and social engagement.
The location-based and live play award reward experience, innovating in this space and creating magical new space for playing.
And we're proud to announce that this year's IndieCade Live Action Awards goes to Lab Rats by Cirxall.
I know you can hear me.
From the jury, Lab Rats is a delightfully unfolding game meets theatrical experience. What starts as a collective attempt to solve puzzles on a custom web platform evolves into something far more complex. As one of the players, an audience plant, incites rebellion against the structures and proctors of the experience. With wild changes depending on audience choices, Lab Rats marries story, performance, and agency in truly unique ways that embody the spirit of IndieCade. And that is why we are pleased to bestow it with this year's Live Action Award.
Congratulations, Lab Rats. What's up next?
Oh, audio's out. Ooh, I can fill in. Oh hey, look at me. Award shows are too long today. We've messed up our sound design. Behind Dove Audio. I'm really mad it's too difficult when you spit. Do now? Treacly Cake Audio gives everyday weight. Pretend. Adele. Cells that wish to smooch a bunch. I'm not a lip reader, I'm an announcer. Cow mulch a static faction of mooing dew and impacted all the firemen? I rager quiet loud and avoid guys I based when I down there. I'll take the bed. Papa's got an odd treacle. While we're in it, why stab EA weaving their arts like we're dead thumb Sinbad? We heard only emphatic eyes follow a great audio, Heather. Oh, they're poignant to the max. No, mics. Oh, I think they're figuring it out. I really need to be saved here. Oh, thank you, tech support.
And we're back. We're back.
Okay, we're back. Thank goodness we have captions and that strange but helpful announcer guy.
Who is that?
Audio is rad and accessibility is important.
And we're just a scrappy indie festival, but we do our best. And I'm sure it was all word perfect. Let's have a listen to these nominees.
The nominees for audio design are Bits and Bops, Fretless, The Wrath of Rifson, Lo-Fi Room, Orbis, and Tempopo.
Hi everyone, I am Gilles Pomereuil. I won the Audio Design Spotlight Award last year for my game Music Power Up. And I fell in love with computer games back in the 1980s. And 40 years later, I can still replay the music from my favorite games of the time in my head, just like that. It's the magic of great sound design. It sticks with you for life. As musicians, as sound designers, we may create eternal memories for our players. Now, when the music becomes an integral part of the gameplay, it can make a game even more powerful, unforgettable. That's why I am very excited to announce that the Audio Design Spotlight Award this year goes to Fretless, The Wrath of Rifson by Ritual Studios. Congratulations!
From the jury, Fretless, The Wrath of Rifson is 100% music and 100% magic. The sheer level of detail in every little aspect makes this game wonderfully immersive. Walking through high grass plays tubular bells. Birds tweet and hoot in key to the background music. Combat uses a deck-building mechanic, only with measures of music instead of cards. And a full combat deck has 16 riffs, per the standard 16-bar phrase used in music. With 4 different instruments, each with their own decks, and attachments like guitar capos and synth modules, there's a deep variety of musical flavors and playstyles. Between its richness of play and absolutely bumpin' soundtrack, we couldn't stop smiling and bopping along while playing Fretless, The Wrath of Rifson, and are delighted to honor it with this year's Audio Design Award.
Congratulations, Fretless, The Wrath of Rifson.
I believe it was Robert Frost who once said that most among us are content to merely walk the path set before us.
Uh-huh. Where are you going with this?
Then, says Robert Frost, he says, then there are the visionary sickos who set the path on fire.
Those are animorphs.
Let her finish the thought. It's tradition.
Trailblazers. Those what scorched the old ways to bring forth the new. It's the next award.
Right, but it's not really to do with arson, Sarah, sweetie.
Well, hang on. It kind of has everything to do with arson.
No.
It's about taking a flamethrower, Isla, and forging new paths and paradigms through the games industry, burning the forest for the trees.
Preach it, sister.
I'm talking about iconic and impactful contributions to the field, fostering an innovative indie spirit over the long term, right? It's about the personalities you know and love that light the way.
Yes, follow the light. Let the past die. Scorch it if you have to.
No scorching.
Scorch.
No. Okay, maybe a little scorching.
Yeah.
But here to present the Trailblazer Award is Diana Williams, CEO of Kinetic Energy Entertainment and groundbreaking immersive play creator.
So, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain is a phrase that we hear often from Wizard of Oz. But in this field, we should absolutely be paying attention to those dreaming up, teaming up, executing upon, and delivering that magic to us. So I'm thrilled to be here today to pull back the curtain just a bit on Sarah Thatcher. But I want to start by saying Sarah's not thrilled about this. She's going to hate everything I'm about to say because she doesn't like being on the receiving end of a lot of accolades. Why? Because she likes being behind the curtain, because that's her idea cocoon, that's her magic lab. That is where she crafts up the magical experiences that so many of us have been able to participate in and enjoy. A few that have sprung from her magic lab will include, of course, 2008's Games of Nonchalance, aka the Jejune Institute, which many of you know, which won an IndieCade Award. And in terms of trailblazing, when that opened, it was at a time when things were called Room Escape Game, which is a bizarre wording, which was something that was built in Flash and played on your web browser. This was before a single escape room existed in the United States. 2016, the Haunted Mansion Ghost Post with Walt Disney Imagineering, which had an Athea Award. Again, trailblazing. When that launched, you could get subscription boxes full of stuff, but story boxes, play-at-home puzzle boxes weren't really a thing. And then, of course, 2021, Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser with Walt Disney Imagineering, the award-winning. Sarah's magic elixir of game and play is what sets her apart. Everything she touches becomes different and unique. Her projects are intriguingly uncategorizable with threads of comfort and familiarity. And thrumming underneath all is a heartbeat encouraging you at every step to wonder, wander, and be in awe. So here's a portion where I'm going to use I a lot. I've known Sarah for a really long time across a bunch of events and conferences, summits, and of course making cool stuff. We go back to the good old days of Transmedia LA meetups at Cafe Metropole downtown, to now where we're both on the board of the Immersive Experience Institute. Voila, Noah Nelson. But as with most friend workshops in Los Angeles, you have breaks when you don't see each other for a while, especially in those days before Al Gore invented the internet and words such as social and media were used separately. So in 2013, I found myself at Lucasfilm as a member of the Lucasfilm Story Group. First time in a corporate job, and luckily at a place where I had a really great boss, and I was at the intersection of story, creativity, and technology. But I had no idea what my fit was going to be at a place where you had to show up with pants every day and do things. Until one day, at my first Imagineer open house, because that is a thing and it's awesome, I came barreling around a corner and I ran straight into Sarah. I had no idea she was now an Imagineer, refer back to the fact that Sarah doesn't talk about herself. But in that moment of seeing her, I knew what my fit was going to be there. My focus became really clear. I couldn't have asked for a better co-conspirator or collaborator. And those years in a galaxy far, far away were some of the most wildly creative of my career due to Sarah. Brian Rose of Niantic said, as a creator, Sarah inspires me to dream bigger. Some people are fortunate enough to make their dent in the universe. Sarah is punching a hole through it. Nick Tierce said of her work that it established in him an expectation of quality and ambition that the world doesn't often allow to exist. At the time, it felt like a glimpse of the future, but no matter what tomorrow holds, she gave her players an opportunity to look more deeply into themselves and each other. Nurture, inspire, rinse, repeat. This describes both IndieCade and Sarah. So I'd like to thank IndieCade for making sure that the curtain is wide open for all to see the dreamers and the makers. And when I was asked to do this intro for this award for distinguished accomplishment over a career of creation, my first thought was Sarah's way too young to be getting this award. But then I thought, or is it just because she's accomplished so much and has affected so many people in such a short amount of time because of her intellect, heart, and spirit? So I tell my story, which Sarah, that was the first time she's hearing it, because everyone should have a Sarah, and someone in this room is a Sarah, someone in this room is looking for a Sarah. Nurture, inspire, rinse, repeat. But until you find yours, become yours, it's my honor to introduce mine, Sarah Thatcher, recipient of the 2025 Honorary IndieCade Trailblazer Award.
Those were some incredibly nice words. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, IndieCade. Thank you all. I am deeply honored, but not only the recognition, but where the recognition's coming from. This is a place, and this community is one that I have drawn inspiration from for decades now, which is shocking to say, but it's true, and it's one that I'm so privileged to be a part of. I remember back to an IndieCade Night Games playing Ranga as part of a big crowd in Culver City and having this moment with hundreds of people simultaneously collaborating and playing this game together. I didn't think that was possible to make a collaborative game that could do that. And IndieCade has opened my eyes over the years and have so many light bulb moments thanks to this group of people and this community of makers. And I am so deeply inspired by you. So I'm so honored to get this award from you. I think about back to running the Jejune Institute, as Diana mentioned, it started a long time ago before smartphones and physical escape rooms were a thing. And at that time, got some of the highest compliments, what felt like amazing high compliments at the time of this experience, this game, playing this makes me see my city differently, makes me see the place that I live differently, makes me interact with the world in a different way. And it was astonishing to hear that then, and I got to hear it repeatedly over the course of many years and many different projects. And seeing that change not only how people saw themselves, but how they saw each other, and that sense of shared experience. When you do something together in the real world and you have that shared experience, it creates this sense of community that transcends the actual game or experience or story that you've made together. And so one of the things that I'm so amazed by every time it happens, and so privileged to see happen with many things that I've worked on, is that community extending long after that experience is over, long beyond the borders of that experience, and seeing them continue. And some of them, many of them, continue to make new things, and things that I'm all over again get to be inspired and impressed by. And I think all of that is due to the power of play. And not just play, but the fact that games can give us the ability to have a narrative experience that happens in the real world. And we can participate in that, be something else, feel that sense of accomplishment. All of those things games do for us, we don't have to know our lines if we know how to play. And I leave you with that. Thank you so much for all of that inspiration.
Congratulations to Sarah Thatcher.
Longtime viewers of this awards show will know that we have already reached for the low-hanging fruit when it comes to joke intros for Tabletop Design Award.
We've talked ad nauseum about literal tabletops.
Oh yeah, types of wood, shapes, designs.
Varnish.
Yeah.
So maybe this year we should actually talk about these games and how they innovate the medium of tabletop games to delight and surprise. What?
Or
Mm-hmm.
we could, and now this is a stretch, but we could talk about how one might design the things that go atop a table.
Ooh.
Okay, like plates, cutlery,
table runners,
chargers, trivets, gravy boats.
By Jove, I think we are onto something here.
Yes, but alas, we are out of the allotted time for this bit, and I am a little hungry.
Me too. Well, here are the nominees for Tabletop Design.
The nominees for Tabletop Design are Beacon Patrol, Casting Call, the game, Super Squad High, The Sentient Severed Arm, and Witch's Quarrel, Small Beginnings.
Hello, IndieCade. I'm Raf D'Amico. My surreal horror storytelling game, The Zone, won the Tabletop Design Award last year, and I have been waiting with bated breath to pass the torch. I think it's wild that as long as we've had sticks and bones and pebbles and little pieces of string, that we found ways to bring them to life by crafting rules and rituals and chopping them up into little pieces that magically turn them into entire worlds to explore and navigate and compete and tell amazing stories. The Tabletop Design Award celebrates the indie games that continue this tradition that I like to think is maybe older than tabletops themselves. And this year's winner takes us far out from the board, way out past the flotsam and the jetsam, and out into the North Sea. Congratulations to Shapes and Dreams and Brutal Hack. The winner of this year's Tabletop Award is Beacon Patrol. Congratulations.
From the jury, Beacon Patrol is a cozy tile-laying game where players cooperate as Coast Guard captains to navigate and light up the North Sea. The interesting problems that arise from tight gameplay systems evoke the brisk, hard work on the open seas that comes with every sailing voyage. The impact is profound, however, crafting an unusual sense of place and mood for a board game, and finding a fresh angle on the tile-laying mechanic. Plus, it's super fun, and we'd love to just hang out and endlessly play by the beach with our families. For all this, it is our choice for the Tabletop Design Award.
Congratulations, Beacon Patrol. You know, every year I offer to sing opera to introduce the Performance Award, and every year I am cruelly shot down. However, currently the other hosts are tied up, occupied in the bathroom, leaving no one to stop me. So, for your pleasure, my operatic version of Oasis's Wonderwall.
No, I was going to do it.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Sorry? The Performance Award honors achievements in voice, motion capture, or live performances that enhance a game's experience and truly bring it to life. Here are the nominees. No.
Never.
I said maybe.
The nominees for performance are Farewell North, Rosewater, Sushi Ben, and Uncanny Alley, A New Day.
Hey, my name is Erin Yvette. I am a voice actor with a particular fondness for indie games. The Performance Award honors a unique or particularly sublime performance, voice, motion capture, video, live, and more. As games grow in cultural weight and professional development, the field of independent development has involved a larger variety of artists from all disciplines. The brilliant pacing, empathy, and understanding of the best performers has been harnessed this decade to make some of the most arresting play experiences we have ever seen. This award celebrates the actors practicing their incredible craft in the field of play. This year's awardee is Uncanny Alley, A New Day by Virtual Worlds Company and Ferryman Collective. Congratulations.
From the jury, Uncanny Alley, A New Day, a VR chat experience performed live for anywhere from one to many people at once, is like watching one of those one-man bands with a drum strapped to their foot, a guitar in their hands, and a harmonica braced to their mouth. These folks are heavy lifting. The cast is juggling scripted moments and many multiple characters, deftly improvising along with particularly motivated players while keeping them moving through the experience at pace, all while also triggering digital scene changes, costume changes, and stage effects. There's some very light puzzling, some nice work with scale, and some cute moments, but the thrill of the experience is watching these actors execute and adapt with marvelous gusto and ambidextrous skill. The jury is delighted to bestow Uncanny Alley, A New Day with IndieCade's Performance Award.
We're part of this collection of hackers. We keep people moving incognito,
Congratulations to Uncanny Alley, A New Day.
The Game Changer Award celebrates an individual who has consistently impacted the gaming landscape in a significant way, a positive disruptor who has brought a paradigm shift to our community. Whether it's advocating for independent developers or creating space for important conversations, a game changer is someone who makes us proud to be part of the industry.
They are reliable pillars in our medium, despite change happening all around them all the time.
The game has changed, but the players remain the same.
MacGruber. Here to present this year's Game Changer Award is CEO of Stride PR, longtime promoter of independent game developers, and friend of IndieCade, Rob Brown.
It's my honor to be here today and to present this award and to accept it on behalf of Sue. I do just want to talk briefly about Sue because she not only played such an important role in my life, but she played such an important role for the entire industry. And she's done it all behind the scenes in support of independent developers, in support of AAA teams, and even helping small teams achieve bigger and better things and moving up into that AAA space. So if I wanted to briefly just tell you about Sue. Sue founded video game PR. There was no video game media before Sue. There was no one promoting games. She had the pleasure of being one of the first women in PR even before games. At a time when all the studio heads were run by white men, she was the head of an agency in Silicon Valley where she was the first PR. They represented Microsoft. They were their first agency, Kodak, Packard Bell, and others. She will tell you that she was at the right place at the right time. I will tell you that Sue brought her passion, commitment, excellence, integrity, and just an unwillingness to stop in support of her clients every single day when I had the pleasure of working for her. She worked 70 to 80 hours weeks while she was raising a family and 2 children, and she loves to see the accessibility of success for women in sports and business at a time when she was encouraged to be a teacher and not pursue these endeavors that she excelled at. When she first started in games, she thought it was going to be a fun side project for some of the guys in the office. She didn't even know that it was going to turn into this industry behemoth that supports all of us here today. She's a PR maven and who helped countless industry luminaries over her 30 years in games. She was Atari's first agency. She launched the 3DO. She represented companies like Activision, Disney Interactive, Warner Brothers, EA, and others. She was the first PR agency for GDC when it was an 800-person event. She was the head of PR for PAX when it was a small fan meetup for a webcomic. And she is a friend to IndieCade, former speaker, first PR agency for the event, and she represented countless indies over her time. And that's really something that she installed a passion for me in. We always loved it when we'd get on a call in a AAA game we supported, sold a few million copies in the first month. Our passion, and Sue's passion, was getting on a call, hearing about the launch sales for a small indie team, hearing about the opportunities for them that they didn't think that would exist for them, opportunities to own homes, create their next game without having to get a grant or investors. And that's really what she excelled at, more so than I think most. She was also the first PR agency for the IGDA, and she was a big friend to educators. She helped organize the first group of game professors to create the first recommended curriculum for game development colleges and universities. She's been an incredible mentor to me. She trained several hundred game industry professionals. She hired young people, dozens of them, right out of college and taught them PR with no prior experience. And if I take a look across the games PR space as well, if I were to rank, like, let's say the top 10 agencies, 5 of those CEOs worked for Sue at one time or another. She currently, as I mentioned, is retired. She's enjoying years with her husband, but likewise, she still has an inability to stop. She founded the Serious Play Conference not too long ago, which then really focuses on the learning aspects of games and how that can be applied for education, which was always a great passion of hers. I want to thank Sue for the impact she made on my life and so many others, playing a pivotal role behind the scenes in the industry, elevating others so that way they became household names and companies with name brand recognition that we all are so aware of today. I want to thank IndieCade for recognizing her as a trailblazer, and I want to thank each and every one of you in the audience for taking the time to hear a little bit about her today. Thank you.
Thank you, IndieCade. I'm really honored, and I do appreciate the recognition. People do ask me sometimes why I think I was successful. Well, it's for 2 things. One, a lot of hard work, and believe me, that's a big part of it. Long hours, Saturdays, and Sundays. But the other thing that was going for me was a bit of luck. I actually started public relations in the high-tech industry. We were there in the Silicon Valley in the 80s, just as it was emerging, and we launched the first 16-bit operating system for the PC for a small unknown company called Microsoft. We were really enjoying that, but my career was about to go in an entirely new direction. One of my computer clients introduced us to Atari, and we became Atari Systems' first public relations agency. That was lucky because Atari was so well known that we began to get referrals and other companies searching out for us because of the main client that we had. And we loved promoting games. We were doing good work for Atari and its contracts, but also adding accessories and adding small items that would go with the PC, and it was all fun. We soon learned we loved promoting games. We were known for creative stunts and good writing. We literally launched dozens of games as well as other platforms, Alienware and 2 other video game systems over the next 4 decades. Another big win for us was the Game Developers Conference. We were a startup agency for a bunch of computer and game players that had really wanted to build a conference for the industry. And we helped them move from 800 attendees the first year to more than 20,000 attendees. Running the media room gave us the best game media list in the industry. We also worked for CES and Penny Arcade Expos. You can see that we were eating, sleeping, and promoting games 24/7. I was known for demanding first-class work from my staff, but it was really paying off. We always tried to be a strong supporter of the industry. I spoke at many conferences, including IndieCade, GDC, and Penny Arcade, and we volunteered to be the agency for the IGDA. So when Congress announced congressional hearings on violence in video games, we prepared testimony for the IGDA spokesperson and did media trainings for clients. We also helped ID when they were sued in the Kentucky high school shooting with media training and interviews. I enjoyed the game industry so much, I didn't hand over my agency to Rob Brown to run until I was 70 years old. But by then, I had entered a new phase of my career, Serious Games. The conference I founded, Serious Play, pioneered another segment of the industry, games to be used in education and training. I finally curtailed my game industry activity, well, most of it, 2 years ago. My career in games lasted 46 full-time years. Few people had so much fun. Thank you.
Congratulations to Sue Bowl.
Hey, remember that time we all went to Vegas and lost a ton of money?
No, I don't.
Oh yeah, and then we couldn't afford the hotel, so we wandered the streets all night.
Are you sure that was us?
Of course it was. You stole that car and drove 120 until we accidentally hit that guy, and we had to bury him in the desert, then walk back to town on foot.
Sarah, you're kind of scaring me.
Exactly. Because that's the power of narrative. Oh! Our nominees for this category all tell unique stories in the sort of innovative ways that only indie games can do. And what do you know? Here they are. Dude!
The nominees for narrative are Am I Nima? Perfect Tides, Station to Station, Psychroma, Some Goodbyes We Made, and Wednesdays.
Hello, I'm Somi, the developer of No Case Should Remain Unserved, which won the Narrative Spotlight Award last year. It is a true honor to be here to announce this year's winner. As games grow across boundaries, platforms, and formats, an ever-growing array of narratives are communicated in an ever-growing number of ways. The delicate art of creating a living, breathing story through design of spaces, characters, conflicts, and more has become a defining art of games and play. The Narrative Spotlight Award celebrates accomplishment and innovation in this amazing and emergent art of interaction-driven narrative. This year's winner masterfully weaves deep, heartfelt emotions into every moment of players' journey. The Narrative Spotlight Award goes to Some Goodbyes We Made by Safe Flight Games and Joy Shoots. Congratulations!
From the jury, Some Goodbyes We Made is a collection of 11 mini-games, each capturing a different aspect of a farewell story, including moving houses, graduation, fights with friends, and more. Each game is minimal, keeping the mechanics simple and slow, allowing players the time to focus on the authentic complexity, heartache, or beauty of each different type of goodbye. The experience concludes with a journal prompt inviting the player to inscribe a moment of personal reflection and transformation, ending the experience only when they are truly ready. For its moments of catharsis and beauty, the Narrative Committee grants the award to Some Goodbyes We Made.
Congratulations to Some Goodbyes We Made.
Our next award, the Bernie DeKoven Big Fun Award, is all about bringing people together.
Yes, we're talking about big communal experiences like a giant game of in-person werewolf or an interactive haunted house walkthrough.
The winners of past Big Fun Awards are experts in creating and curating these kinds of experiences.
Yeah, they are total people pleasers, which I can really relate to.
That is true. If you told her you needed it, she would give you the shirt off her back, the leftovers from her sandwich, the contact lenses ripped clean from her eyeballs.
Ew, gross.
Yeah.
Wait, what prescription are you? I don't have vision insurance.
I've got the eyesight of a naked mole rat staring at the sun.
I'm going to take this opportunity to disassociate from that and welcome to the show the presenter of the Bernie DeKoven Big Fun Award, last year's Big Fun awardee, brilliant game and puzzle designer Miles Nye.
Who said that?
Alistair Aitchison is the recipient of this year's Bernie DeKoven Award. Bernie, a game designer, his friends called him Blue, and he's remembered today for his beloved book, The Well-Played Game. But what you might not know is that Bernie had another identity, a nom de game, Major Fun, a blog where he wrote hundreds of posts about games you could buy at the store or folk games you could play on a road trip. If you go through the collection of games in your closet, you might find some of them have the icon on them for Major Fun. Just one of many ways in which Bernie brought playful energy throughout. And so it is fitting that this year's recipient, Alistair Aitchison, Hallister Haitchison, I believe is the regional Cockney pronunciation of his name. I was lucky to meet Alistair last year on Zoom, and we nerded out over Bernie, Blue, and books, and Blue's books. Alistair's work, I think, is a great embodiment of quote from another one of my creative inspirations who I'd put on a par with Bernie DeKoven, Stephen Sondheim, who I think said, anything you do, let it come from you, then it will be new. And although Alistair is notable for so much of his work as a programmer, game designer, and performer, I think what sets his work apart might be the clowning energy that he brings to games in a way that has no peer. His work has collected encomia and awards at festivals around the world, from games played on paper shredders to games where the audience, you know what? They're more fun to play than they are to hear me describe. So I just want to say, Alistair, this award is given with esteem and in estimable recognition of your work, and I hope it feels good. You keep the tradition alive that was so important to Blue. You are Major Fun, and I use this term advisedly, you are true Blue. The recipient of this year's Bernie DeKoven Big Fun Award, Alistair Aitchison.
Thank you very much, Miles. That was absolutely delightful. Thank you so much. Thank you, IndieCade. This really does mean an incredible amount to me. Bernie's work has been foundational for so many of us in this space. And, something I've been thinking about recently is how so many of my influences, coming through the games industry and, developing as a developer and as a performer, how much of my influences came out of his work and out of the new games movement. I am so grateful to Bernie for inspiring the very people who went on to inspire me. To be considered, a part of, this incredible thing that he created is really a massive honor indeed. So, the kind of work that I do these interactive stage shows where I get people up, running around, zapping each other with barcode scanners, tying tablets to their belts, pretending to be Power Rangers. I also perform as a clown and get the audience to interact with my getting tongue-tied. That's nerves for you. Who thought I'd get stage fright? I get people to control what's going on stage using their phones and things like that. For me, a big thing in my work is creativity and allowing the audience to be creative. And the people I really want to thank tonight are my mum and dad. I was very lucky to be able to grow up in a very supportive, creative household. Mum and dad taught me the values of thoughtfulness and kindness, supported me through my early years as a struggling game developer, and also raised me with the space and encouragement to play and explore creativity. My dad himself is an artist, and he began pursuing his dream of being an artist in his 40s when I was about 5. I grew up around paintings and sculptures and lots of art books, but most of all, the thing that Dad's taught me is how to play with art materials. Why not mix charcoal and acrylics? Can you stick objects to a painting and turn it into a sculpture? Why not draw on a wall instead of a piece of paper? So then you can use your whole body to draw, and you're using your body comes into the creative process, not just your hand. A few years ago, Dad did this incredible charcoal drawing of the view from our house. It's about 2 meters by 2 meters. And he used a Dremel sander instead of an eraser because he enjoyed the marks that it made. Now, every single one of us in this room and outside, every single one of us is an individual with our own perspective, our own personality, and the power to come up with something just like that Dremel sander, the kind of thing that nobody else would have thought of. Every single one of us in the world is creative, but so many of us have simply grown up believing that we aren't. The thing that I really want to come out of my shows is that everybody gets to feel that they are part of the creative process, that my shows would have been different if they hadn't come along. So I want to pass on a massive thank you to Mum and Dad. Mum, Dad, if I can create the kind of imaginative and supportive creative space for my audiences that you have created for me, I will be very, very happy indeed. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to Alistair Aitchison.
Next up is the Impact Award, and I, for one, am very pleased to see this kind of specificity in an awards show. For too long have our stalwart Foley artists gone unrecognized for impacts. These sound effects are a very important part of making any stunt, explosion, or projectile land with convincing weight.
Isla, I think that you might
Some examples of past winners include these gems. Now, don't be confused by that last one. Without the visuals, it might have just sounded like some random thud. But when you see and hear that old man lean just a little too hard into that wooden wall, you think to yourself, oh, dang, I don't think he's okay. And that's cinema.
This isn't even a cinema award show.
Hang on. I can spin this. Like those incredible thuds and whacks, the following games have made a real impact on us and the world around them, lending weight and gravity, like the gravity of the falling. to their messages and helping to communicate important, sometimes underrepresented stories to their audiences.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Thank you.
And they sound pretty good when things slam into them.
Sure. Here are the nominees for the Impact Award.
The nominees for Impact are A Week in the Life of Asocial Giraffe, Bird, Children of Saturn, Perfect Tides, Station to Station, and Wednesdays.
Hi, I'm Andy Santagata. I won the Impact Award last year for my video game / review, and it is my absolute honor to present this year's Impact Award. The Impact Award honors a game which explores social, cultural, and or political issues in a whole new way. It may take us out of our comfort zones and confront us directly on social progress yet to be done, or mark a real change in the industry. Impact isn't simply about diversity or doing good in the world. It can be creating new access points for unlikely players engaging with unlikely topics, new points of connection for people across the globe, or new shared experiences that resonate in our modern culture. When games are at their best, they make you rethink how you engage with the world, how you engage with the medium of games, and how you engage with yourself. I hope this award changes your life as much as it has changed mine. This year's Impact Award for IndieCade 2025 goes to A Week in the Life of Asocial Giraffe from developer Quail Button. Congratulations!
From the jury, A Week in the Life of Asocial Giraffe is a puzzle stealth game where you play as a giraffe with social anxiety living in the friendliest city on Earth. The game's playful approach to the subject matter provides a cathartic release for those with social anxiety, giving space to find humor in what is, in reality, a very non-humorous experience. Those without social anxiety can share in the vulnerability of that experience, prompting reflection on how we each navigate the world, and ultimately encouraging understanding and empathy for one another. Through charming graphics, humorous but deadly dialogue, and thoughtful puzzles that put a spin on some very familiar situations, this game provides a relatable and approachable glimpse into how stressful everyday life can be for all those who see themselves as our hero giraffe. We are so excited to bestow A Week in the Life of Asocial Giraffe and Team Quail Button with the IndieCade Impact Award.
Congratulations, A Week in the Life of Asocial Giraffe.
This next award celebrates all things random. However, it is anything but.
Yes, created with intention to honor the legacy of veteran game designer, engineer, and university professor Mike Sellers, the Mike Sellers Systemic Design Award recognizes games built around dynamic and emergent systems to generate unique gameplay experiences.
Now, what does all this boo-hooey Sarah just said translate to in laywoman's gaming terms, you might be asking yourself?
Why? It means uncertainty.
Freedom.
Replayability.
And typically a lot of physics and weather.
You know, procedural stuff, okay? And not procedural like Law and Order, Grey's Anatomy, or the Nathan Fillion vehicle, The Rookie, which has become inexplicably popular among the Gen Z audience.
Wait, really?
Yeah, they love it.
Procedural as in robust systems that add depth to how a game plays.
Yes. Let's take a look at the nominees for the Mike Sellers Systemic Design Award and maybe Google where I can watch The Rookie.
You're too old.
The nominees for Mike Sellers Systemic Design are Cairn, Desktop Explorer, Tiny Bookshop, Wakey Wakey, and Wilmot Works It Out.
Hello, I'm Naman.
And I'm Liz.
And we're from
PlayStack,
the publishers of last year's winner, Balatro. The Systemic Design Award honors a game that leverages randomness and algorithmic content or behavior to create unique and innovative interactions.
Systemic design is a growing skill with new discoveries made in many fields related to game development, graphics, narrative, level design, meaningful randomness, artificial behavior, and more.
This award celebrates the amazing design of procedural and random chance that drives amazing discovery in the field of play.
And the awards goes to
Ken!
From the jury, Cairn is a climbing simulator that compellingly captures the challenges of climbing through hyper-realistic character controls. The deep breathing system and the sometimes overwhelming but highly intuitive interface for choosing holds and positioning your body set Cairn apart from the field in the creation of beautiful systemic metaphors. For this reason, we award it this year's Mike Sellers Systemic Design Award.
Congratulations, Cairn. Well, here we are at the halfway point of the show, when everything changes. When every single nominated game is eligible for every award.
Remember last year's halfway point of the show?
Last year's halfway point of the show.
Have you heard? All of our nominees are now eligible for all of the awards.
Henceforth and forthwith?
Verily it is so. Gee, you know it would be just a scream. Let's take a look at all of our nominees once more.
Yes, may we? Extra! The Hindenburg just crashed. I read about it on my Zune.
Our next award celebrates innovation in interaction design.
We're highlighting studios and games that ask us to reconsider the ways in which we play.
This could be through bold new game mechanics, unique interface design, heck, even an original or wacky new controller design.
Now, you might be thinking, oh, wacky controller. Can anything be a controller? Anything?
Yes, anything.
Oh, I don't know. What about a bunch of bananas?
Bananas as a video game controller?
Sure, why not?
The answer is no. No, bananas cannot be a video game controller.
To attempt to develop and sell a banana video game controller would be a terrible idea.
Yeah, to sink your life savings into crates upon crates, pallets upon pallets of fresh bananas.
Only to realize that bananas have an extremely short shelf life, especially when stored next to avocados, which they are.
So now you're completely broke, and all you're left with is stinking, rotting piles of bananas.
Hundreds of them.
You also got a little ahead of yourself and promised the kids at the orphanage they'd get to play Mario this Christmas.
On the bananas.
But you and I both know there's no chance those bananas even make it to the first night of Hanukkah.
Where's Mario? The children will ask, bright-eyed and full of hope.
He's dead. You'll whisper back. Choked on a banana.
This bit might have gone a little off the rails. Let's just get to the Interaction Design Award, shall we?
Happy IndieCade, everyone. I'm Jared Yeager, Head of Developer Relations at IndieCade, game producer, voice actor, and most importantly for today, IndieCade's Awards Jury Co-Chair, along with the amazing Colleen Macklin. It's my honor to present IndieCade's Innovation and Interaction Design Award. This award honors the specialized artistry and innovation required to engage with games on a whole new level. This may be in the form of original controllers, unique interface design, or bold new game mechanics. At its utmost, the Interaction Award acknowledges a work that asks us to reconsider the ways in which we all play. And the award goes to... This is a very tiny envelope here. Mini Mini Golf Golf by developer 3 More Years. Congratulations to the team, and I hope to see you all out on the Mini Mini Digital Putting Green.
My fellow citizens, the sky is not dark because it is angry.
From the jury. Like the title suggests, Mini Mini Golf Golf is not just mini golf or mini golf squared. It's an aesthetic playground, a sci-fi mystery, and a meditation on how games bring meaning to our lives. It's made up of seemingly disparate elements, television broadcasts from a strange future, a story that slowly unfolds, and of course, miniature golf. The interplay between them resonates with meaning, creating an experience and, for lack of a better word, vibes that stayed with us long after the game's finale. For its uniquely compelling feedback space, Mini Mini Golf Golf is our selection for this year's Innovation in Interaction Design Award.
Congratulations, Mini Mini Golf Golf.
Now, you may find yourself wondering, who decides these awards? What do they know of the matter? What makes them tick? Why do they get out of bed in the morning? And who's their hairstylist? Here to answer all your pressing questions about the IndieCade jurying process and to present the Jury Pre-Award is IndieCade's Festival Director, Sam Roberts.
Hey everybody, it's me, Sam Roberts, IndieCade's Festival Director. I wanted to hop here into the show and let you guys know a little bit about how our jurying process works. Every year when you submit your games, they go to 2 simultaneous jurying streams. First, our community jury, made up of the IndieCade community developers who've shown work in the festival, spoken at the festival, been a part of the festival for many years. And our IndieCade jury committee, made up of selected people to represent each of our spotlight categories, plus jury overseers with years of experience looking at, talking about, and playing indie games. Those 2 groups look at every submission. The community jury plays every submission, not each individual member, but each game is played by multiple community jury members. And the jury committee reviews the documentation for every submission. Again, more than one member of the committee reviews the documentation, and this happens for every game. Both groups recommend games to the spotlight committees. The spotlight committees are separate jurying bodies that play every game recommended to them and discuss them in context to choose nominees in their spotlight categories. The nominees chosen across all 8 spotlight categories become those year's IndieCade Festival nominees. In each spotlight category, one of its nominees will win that spotlight award. But the larger awards, the jury pre, the grand jury, the interaction design, and the experience design are selected from all the nominees, which are all played by a new awards jury that looks at those nominees and talks about them in the context of those awards. So that's a little bit of how your games get submitted and then get to hear. This is all work that happens by community members of IndieCade, which is you, the game developers who submit, who join, who showcase, and go on to help look at other people's work. We can't do it without you. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Hi, I'm Nicole He, the creative director of The Crush House. Last year, we had the honor of winning the IndieCade Jury Pre-Award, and so I'm delighted to have the opportunity to present the award for this year. The Jury Pre-Award is for a game that the awards jury wishes to honor for separating itself from the pack for its craftsmanship, innovation, and design. This award is really meaningful because it transcends the other categories and really recognizes a game for being unique or being something really special. This year, I'm happy to announce that the Jury Pre-Award goes to 2 different games because it is a tie. It was incredibly competitive, and so for the first time in history, the Jury Pre-Award has 2 winners. And those winners are Wednesdays by the Wednesdays team and A Week in the Life of a Social Giraffe by Quail Button. Congratulations to both teams.
From the Jury, A Week in the Life of a Social Giraffe is a point-and-click adventure game about a giraffe attempting to live his day-to-day life while not talking to anyone. The concept alone encapsulates the imaginative freedom and expression of heartfelt ideas only dared in the world of indie games. More amazing still are the depth of craft and thought-provoking moments this game has to share. With a special mix of sweet writing and characters, charming art, and poignant interstitials that complement humorous puzzles in tackling the challenges of social anxiety, our jurors' hearts couldn't help but melt and declare the Asocial Giraffe a recipient of the Jury Pre-Award. But we promise we won't make him do an acceptance speech. Wednesdays delivers a complicated but necessary narrative that expertly balances moments of intensity and levity. The writing is masterful and authentic, and the presentation is thoughtful, allowing players to experience vignettes based on their own comfort level. We never thought we would see a game deal with these issues with such sensitivity, specificity, and care. It left us full of optimism for our medium as a whole, and by granting it the Jury Pre-Award, we hope to demonstrate how important it is to the future of our medium to support such indie voices.
Congratulations. Next up is experience design, which is always a little difficult to explain.
Let me try. It's like going through Elise's purse and finding a fist-sized wad of melted butterscotch candies, or going through your purse and finding 465 sweaty, blood-stained dollars. It both were a unique and enjoyable experience.
Isla, you went through our purses?
Yeah.
If you need old candy or blood-stained money, just ask.
Yeah, I'm shocked, Isla, and wounded. Okay, I would have cut you in. You said you were out.
That butterscotch is purely medicinal, okay? I have a prescription for those.
Look, this is about the games. The experience of rooting through your purses told me heaps about both of you as characters, as people, in a natural, intrinsic way. How much more thrilling and visceral to discover your disgusting candy habit or your vile criminal relapses this way, instead of hearing it directly from your dumb, boring mouths. What a rich, emotional journey I've been on. And that's indie games.
Yeah, well, I think it's petty theft.
Or in my case, accessory after the fact.
I'll do the time, baby.
And I'm off to call my lawyer. Now, without further ado, the Innovation and Experience Design Award.
Hi, my name is Adam Pipe. I'm 1/3 of Beeswax Games, and we made a game called No Players Online. I'm very honored to be presenting this year the award for Innovation and Experience Design. This award goes out to games that really push the medium in terms of delivering a story or even no story at all in a very unique way that really pushes the medium forward. So the winner for this year is a game that really uses a very unique medium to achieve this to its full effect. Without further ado, the winner for this year Innovation and Experience Design Award goes to Uncanny Alley, A New Day by Virtual Worlds Company and Ferryman Collective. Congratulations.
Whoa! What's up? From the Jury, Uncanny Alley, A New Day knocked our jury's socks off as one of the most impressive examples of what VR can achieve as a platform. The fact that this symphony of interactive storytelling spectacle is achieved by 2 actors, also serving as virtual stage managers, makes it all the more astounding and special. Truly, the darkly whimsical cyberpunk world of Uncanny Alley: A New Day must be experienced to be believed, which is why it is receiving our Innovation in Experience Design Award.
All right, I'm out.
All right, Sloan, thanks, see ya! Oh my god, we're part of this collection of hackers. We keep people moving incognito.
Congratulations, Uncanny Alley: A New Day.
You know my favorite part of any awards show?
Presumably not the nosebleeds.
It's when they get up there all weepy and say stuff like, Australia's national treasure, Cate Blanchett, I can't believe I get to be nominated alongside you. We're sisters now, bonded by the secret sacred oaths of our craft and by ancient thespian blood so thick. Only you and I know the true measure of our ability. I mean, thank you, the Academy, but by God, they should tremble in fear at what we've yet to accomplish.
That is your favorite part of every award show?
I mean, I think I know what you mean. There's something nice about being among nominees, like a cohort or a class year, if you will. And really the esteem of your peers, the ones doing what you do in the moment that you're doing it, that's especially special, isn't it?
Yeah, okay. I'm down to ignore the part about the Oscars dabbling in blood magic. Mama don't need that smoke. The winner of this year's Developer's Choice Award, voted on by all the teams nominated in this year's IndieCade Festival, is...
The Sentient Severed Arm. Congratulations.
How did this happen to you? Can you mimic it? Can you mine it out? Oh, like strangulation? Someone choked you? Crushed you?
Destroyed.
Who brought your arm back?
Is the cavalry.
Yeah.
They brought your arm back?
Dragged it.
You dragged your body?
If it's anime, does it have a soul? Or is this like some weird death twitch?
Well, we've come to our final award, friends.
What? No. What do you mean our final award, Elyse? I thought we'd get to keep hosting this award show for at least a few more years. Stephanie Willing.
Yes, I'm too young to die, Elyse. I know I'm old enough that everyone around me seems like a tiny baby child, and the orbit of pop culture is nowhere near my bloated center of gravity, but that doesn't mean an old dog can't learn new tricks. 6'7". No cap.
No.
Oh, Hill the rookie.
Whoa. I just mean the grand jury award. Okay, relax. Whether it's old dogs inventing new tricks or new dogs perfecting old ones, this puppy goes to a project so memorable, so strong all around that we need a bigger metaphor.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's like the white-hot center of the brilliant, diverse IndieCade 2025 solar system.
That's a simile, but yes, it's a star among stars.
Wait, don't you mean a star among planets?
No, definitely a star among other bright stars. My uncle worked at NASA after he left Nintendo.
Ooh, all right. Let's do the thing, Houston. It's time for the IndieCade Grand Jury Award.
My name is Joseph. I'm one half of YCJY.
And I'm Christopher, the other half of YCJY.
And we were the last year's grand prize winners. And we're honored to be able to announce the next grand prize winner. It's a game about exploration, finding your own way, and freedom. And it's something that we feel very close to as well, and look very much forward to playing.
The Grand Jury Award represents the best of IndieCade's best. This is the one game out of all the festival nominees and the hundreds and hundreds of submissions that not only captures how far independent games have come, but how much farther they can still take us.
Anyway, I'd like to proudly present Cairn.
From the jury, what sets Cairn apart from other climbing games is the beautiful atmospheric setting and the craftsmanship of realistic character controls. Nearing the summit of a climb, your hands tremble and sweat, both in the game and in real life. It's difficult, but also fair, letting the player choose their route, manage their supplies, and set their own pace up the mountain, while occasionally stopping to appreciate the view. Cairn shows what's possible in non-traditional character controls and elevates the experience with artistry and atmosphere. With its elegantly interwoven mechanics, artistry, wonder, heart, and play, we are delighted to bestow Cairn with this year's IndieCade Grand Jury Award.
And a huge congratulations to all the IndieCade winners and nominees. You're beautiful, talented, incredible.
Thanks for joining us to celebrate another year of amazing indie games. And don't forget to go check out the IndieCade Steam event page to grab a few. You can also look forward to IndieCade keynotes and developer conversations all festival long. More information at IndieCade.com.
And stick around right now for a special awards roundtable with this year's winners. But first, a few quick thank yous are in order. Thank you to event producer Parker Mann, awards associate producer and designer Megan Couture, and Greg Byers for the honorary award videos. A very special thank you to Easy Allies, to my fellow co-hosts, and to our fantastic co-writer Patrick Corsi. Patrick.
Applause for our festival stream hosts and moderators, including Alistair Aitchison. Thank you to our jury chairs, Aaron Trammell, Drew Davidson, Zoyander Street, Jared Yeager, and Colleen Macklin, and for our legal representatives at Premac Rogers and SoCal IP, for our spotlight jury committees, our awards jury committees, and our wonderful pool of hundreds of jurors who take the time to review these games with depth and care.
Deep and abiding appreciation for IndieCade co-founders Celia Pierce, Sam Roberts, and Stephanie Barish, and to alumni board members Benjamin Tarsa, Morgan Romine, Simon Bachelier, Robert Brown, Casper Gray, John O'Connell, and Jared Yeager. Thank you to Nani De La Pena, Amy Reynolds, Riot Yesbick, and the Narrative and Emerging Media at ASU, as well as all of our partners, patrons, and our many members. Thank you to our IndieCade Horizons academic partners, USC Games, Clark University, Northeastern University, NYU Game Center, Parsons, UCI, Michigan State University, Hostos Community College, Boston University, Columbus College of Art and Design, University of Canterbury, and University of Utah. Thank you to the IndieCade Horizons Organizing Committee and our Climate Jam partners.
Every year, IndieCade is made possible by the work of many amazing interns and volunteers, and generous investment from our community. Bless you. Thank you especially to Willa Lim, Jason Pollock, Chase Jones, and Chris Smith. Congrats again to all, and be sure to stick around for the roundtable coming up right now.
Now can we all go to Six Flags?
No, now you can all go get CAT scans.
Good call, announcer guy. See you next year, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.